As the whiplash from a violent week in Mobile settles, conversation finger pointing has already started.
Who's to blame? What can be done, if anything, to stop youth gun violence in the community? We have heard from parents and the police chief.
And tonight we're going to hear from a different voice. Fox 10 News' Shelby Myers, joining us here in studio, sat down with a local guy who works with young boys and teens who have no fathers. Guys who could have headed down a violent path if not for the nonprofit Team Focus.
She's in the studio now with his perspective. Shelby.
Well, Byron Lanise, Aaron Days is a 20-something black man who is a product of Team Focus himself. He grew up in the rough parts of Mobile, he says. He had a man invest in his life through this program, and now he's doing the same for hundreds of other guys without a father. Tonight, I sat down one-on-one with him and had a very raw discussion. Frankly, it was a powerful and hard one.
85% of all youths who are in prison come from fatherless homes. All of those could have been my story because I grew up in a household without a father, met him one time, but they weren't my story, and that was because men in Team Focus stepped into my life at the age of 13, and I am where I am because of those men.
So this is personal for you? Yeah,
very much. We seriously could use a Team Focus on every corner. Not just in a state, not just in a city. The need for a program that just caters to men and invests in them and checks on them is just needed everywhere.
What do you think when you hear, specifically recently, being 11 and 14 years old killed by gun violence, and they were complete victims?
My first thought is, you know, especially when the suspect or the person that committed the crime is a male, is like, where was their father? What did that person's home structure look like?
One of our public information officers, so who speaks to the media, the designated person with the police department, he got pretty heated and pretty candid, so I want to play that for you.
The most important question is how do we get these young black men to stop killing black women and children and each other? That's the most important question that no one's asked. Well, Sergeant John Carlos Young just did. It's out in the open. Follow up on it. Start doing some news stories on that. Ask South Alabama to do a study on our homicide suspects. Ask the University of Mobile to do a 10-year study on homicides and who's committing them. Ask Spring Hill College to go do background checks and who had single fathers and what were their education levels. Let's figure out a solution to it instead of constantly talking about how they died and do they know each other and the Glock switch. Now, you won't ever get this from me again, but this time it hurts, and it's high damn time somebody says something about it.
It's the truth. It's something that I've thought about and I've researched myself for a long time now, and it's my people, and it's sad, and a lot of people just don't want to talk about it because you're right, they want to be politically correct, or because of my race I shouldn't be the one to say anything about it. And you know, the black community does need to be held to a higher standard because it's our children out here doing these things. I mean, it's sad. And he was speaking from his heart because he's known that. He's dealing with it on the streets, but nobody wants to talk about it.
What would it take to lessen youth violence, youth gun violence?
Promoting family, promoting marriage, promoting couples staying together. I think the community itself needs to step up. There's tons of men here in Mobile and in cities around us that can invest. It doesn't take you being a part of a program to make that investment into an individual that you may see. It may be your nephew, it may be your cousin. Somebody around you can benefit by you helping them out in their life. Going to their games, checking up on them at school, taking them out to eat, rewarding them when they do something well, and then disciplining them when they do something wrong.
Again, a great conversation with Aaron today. Now, Team Focus is always looking for volunteers. If you would like to step up and do a mentor role and mentor young guys in our community who don't have a father, you can go to their website and sign up. In the studio tonight, Shelby Myers, Fox 10 News.